Hello everybody, welcome to another adventure. Today we're going to learn what is pollination and how do flowers help a plant make seeds. Today we're going to explore outside how flowers make seeds. Earlier in the fall we were learning about how seeds are dispersed. That's when, with the help of the wind or an animal, a seed gets away from its parent so it has a better place to start growing. While seed dispersal is about moving seeds so they can grow in a better place, pollination is about making seeds which will be dispersed later in the year. Dispersal moves the seeds, pollination makes the seeds. In our last video we learned the parts of the flower. In this video we're going to learn how each part helps the flower make seeds. How seeds are made. A bee, butterfly, or even a fly might be flying by, and as it flies, it notices the colorful petals. Seeing those colorful petals is where the story begins. Once upon a time, a bee was flying all around. As the bee flew around, the bee started to get hungry. And as the bee got hungry, the bee started to look for some food. There were no signs out that said, "Hey bee, come get some food," but the bee did notice some colorful petals. As the bee noticed the colorful petals, the bee decided, maybe I should go and check them out. And so the bee went to check out the colorful petals. As the bee got closer, it started to smell something sweet. So the bee decided to get closer and closer. And as the bee got closer and closer, it started going down and it rubbed up against the anther, which was held high by the filament. On the anther was pollen, and the bee got pollen on its body. The sweet smell got stronger and stronger, and the bee found the nectary. In the nectary, the bee got a drink of nectar, but the drink was very small, and the bee was still hungry, so the bee decided it needed to fly away and find some more. The bee was feeling pretty proud of itself because the bee appeared to be learning to recognize where it could find nectar. Just look for those orange petals. They're like a big sign that says, "Nectar is in here." The bee noticed the nectar and immediately rubbed up against the stigma on its way down to get the nectar. The bee drinks the nectar and flies away. Meanwhile, while the bee had been looking for nectar, some of the pollen came off its body and it's still stuck on the stigma. The pollen falls through the stigma, down the style, all the way down until it reaches the ovary. In the ovary, the sperm that's in the pollen mixes with the ovules that are in the ovary, and the ovules start to grow into seeds. As the ovules are growing into seeds, the ovary gets bigger and grows into a fruit. Well, there you have it, friends. Now you've seen how each part of a flower helps in pollination, and you've seen that pollination is the process of moving pollen and sperm from the anther of one flower to the ovules of another flower. And that process makes fruit and it makes seeds that allow new plants to grow and allow all of us to enjoy the fruit, flowers, and plants for many generations to come.